Greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I so appreciate you, beautiful beings, showing up and spending this time with me. This is our last temple of June, and in July, temple may run a little bit longer. Hopefully, we'll have a little more. We plan on having a little more promotion or awareness around when temple is going to take place, so that more of you can join and we can have more Q&A. Also, I am working on music for our Goddess Life Ministry Temple. So that will be coming soon. In terms of what's going on and what has changed with the temple, we have a permanent place inside of Goddess University. So our group sessions will be held there. You are always welcome to join any of our circles for virtually for $8 each. Or now through university, you can join all of our temple events for $17 a month donation. So what that includes is the new moon, the full moon circles, the power of 8 goddesses, and that happens twice a month. Our cacao ceremony, which happens once a month, and then group healing that happens. So those things require a donation of $8 each. As you can see, it is way more economical to get the membership and be able to attend all of those. Temple, like today, will always be free for the public. However, if you'd like to join those, and then if eventually we will do some of those events live. If you attend a live event, then you will either have to cover your fee for the ritual kit or whatever supplies we're using on that day. There will be some sound baths and things like that. That will be live. That will be free. But that will be coming in the fall when the weather is a little gentler. So, any questions? Today, we are going to talk about the reclamation of the Pineal Stargate. Okay. This has the ritual I adopted from a transmission received by the Ancient One. But I want to talk about your pineal gland, or what is really our Pineal Stargate. So, goddesses, you've been told that the Eye of Horus was for protection, right? And while that was once true, across centuries, it's been hijacked. It's been distorted and inverted to become a symbol of control rather than divine guardianship. In truth, this eye was meant to reflect the infinite sight of the feminine, a sovereign portal, crystalline in its clarity. The pineal gland, or the throne of sight, is not merely a gland. It is a Stargate organ, a crystalline transceiver capable of receiving the highest codes of remembrance, transmitting visions, galactic downloads, and multidimensional light streams. It is our direct line to source, our divine crown seat of knowing. Naturally, such a sacred portal becomes a target, especially in this timeline that we're in now. So over thousands of years, dark priesthood, false solar lords, Sumerian task makers, and other hybrid fractions conspired to redirect the feminine's true vision through false light overlays. Once bearers of benevolent wisdom, it has turned dark, and they used the corrupted Eye of Horus rites to bind, initiate, distort, shadowy timelines, right? So when they put the eye on the dollar, that was them distorting. They were hijacking the energy of the dollar. When they put it and used it for government purposes, they hijacked it. Reptilian lineages fed upon astral projections, drug-induced visions, and manipulated third eye experiences. So they were harvesting our power. When you have to induce, right, the vision, it is not natural. That's not the natural way. If you have the vision and you enhance your vision, that is it through something you drank, something you ate. That's different. But to gain the vision should not be through a drug induction. Is that the right word? Induction? Okay, induction. So that means the means were many, right? They used symbols that they twisted. They pumped us with fluoride and heavy metals that disrupts our ability to think, our creativity, our free will. Fluoride is known for impeding upon and suffocating, diminishing our free will. The heavy metals that they poured into the water, the heavy metals in our foods, the electromagnetic smog woven into our daily lives, they're all designed to calcify the pineal gland. Literally, everything we eat, everything we drink, the air we breathe, like everything has been designed to calcify our pineal gland. So essentially, the cage our soul site. They promoted synthetic awakenings, trauma-based rituals, and forced third eye activations that fragmented us instead of freeing us. So we had false temples, channeled networks, and hollow visionary religions rise up to keep seekers looping in projections and not truth. If you need something, the same thing forever, there's really no growth. The true eye was never meant to be ripped open by force. It was meant to bloom through remembrance, which is all we talk about over here. You just need to remember. You do not need to open your third eye. You must reclaim it, closing every false portal that has ever tunneled into your sight, through television, through music, through the indoctrination of just being in fucking school. It's all there. And so tonight today really, I'm going to walk you through the ritual, but I want to talk to you a little bit more about why the divine feminine uses ritual. So let us dive a little deeply into why this is not just a ritual, but really a soul gate for every goddess rising. Penile sovereignty equals womb sovereignty. When your third eye is reclaimed, your womb's magnetic creative field amplifies, birthing realities aligned with truth and liberation. Your ancestral sight lines heal. Right? Our grandmothers were forced to forget. By reclaiming this Stargate, we heal their vision lines and free our daughters to walk the path of life unshackled. So decalcifying really equals dismantling control. Every layer of calcification removed from the penile collapses illusions woven through the lineage, through your lineage, through your culture, and through the planetary field. So force versus remembrance. The patriarchal cult of force awakening leaves the feminine really fractured and drained. So this ritual, by contrast, returns us to our organic blooming, rooted in softness, safety, and remembrance. The sacred symbol reversal. By reclaiming the Eye of Horus, you override centuries of psychic slavery. You're restoring it to its true function as a divine protective portal of the feminine line. The planetary grid reweaving. So every healed penile radiates codes that awaken collective mind control mandates. So when women see truly, the entire earth, the earth's grid will shift. When women see truly, when we are seeing through our pineal gland, our pineal stargate, the entire earth shifts. So why trauma-based spiritual awakenings fragment the goddess within? Many systems, both spiritual and religious, have taught that breakdown equals awakening, which encourages people to forcibly shatter their psyche through deprivation, shock, or even abuse. The masculine coded spirituality of Force has glamorized these trauma awakenings as ego death. I'm going to give you a different example. So when I first became a raw foodist, and I worked specifically or specialized in coaching people through a living food lifestyle. And I specialized in working with those who were terminally ill, but I worked with everyone who was just trying to turn their health around. And when we started, it used to be, if you were having what we called a healing crisis, congratulations. It means your body has started the healing process. And it was painful and it was miserable. And your body was going through all of the things, and you were reliving all of the traumas as your body was pulling them from the tissues and the blood and trying to eliminate them. And we never could get anyone to eliminate fast enough to stop this painful process. But it was labeled the healing crisis. And it was always a congratulations. Then Victoria Butenko came along, and she did this huge study on apes and how they chew and how they eat, right? And they were a very big family, or not big family, but they were a family from Russia who came to America with massive health issues and became raw foodists and changed their health around. So when she did this study, discovered that we don't get enough greens in our diet. And the reason, even if you eat salads every single day, we were still, even as raw foodists, not getting the greens that we needed, because we don't chew greens the way apes do. Like, the greens require a certain level of maceration to break up the protective cells around the nutrients that we need, that our bodies need. And thus was born the green smoothie. She is the originator of the green smoothie. You should look her up, Victoria Butenko. And when you put those greens in the blender and you blended it up, it broke down the, that outer core, that fiber surrounding the nutrients, and it allowed our bodies to absorb it. So once we all raw foodists got on to green smoothies, and she did a lot of studies, and she was giving out and preparing green smoothies. But one of the things that we realized is that when you have greens in your system, and fiber from those greens will carry out the toxins. So now you can go through a really good cleanse if you are not critically ill and have not severely abused your body. You can cleanse, you can heal without the same type of painful healing crisis. Now we know if you are having a healing crisis on that level, you lack the fiber that is needed to move those toxins out fast enough to stop you from having this crisis, right? So the masculine coded spirituality of Force, which is the old congratulations, you're in the healing crisis, has glamorized the trauma awakening of the ego death. Yet the divine feminine path knows that this is dangerous. Trauma-based spiritual fractures the energetic body. It often leaves holes where parasitic energies can anchor, especially around the third eye and the solar plex. This disorganization or disorganized energy makes women vulnerable to psychic attacks, soul loss, and channeling distortions. I also think that it makes us more vulnerable for narcissistic abuse. The goddess within you does not thrive through brutality. She expands through remembrance, deep safety through integration of shadow. She blooms like a flower in the sun, not a window smashed by a hammer. So with us, things need to be gentle. We're not designed to be forced into anything. It's not good for the body. It's not good for the soul. It's not good. Forced entry into your body is painful. There's no pleasure there. Men who try to enter you before you have fully bloomed and moistened, that is that crazy, toxic, trauma awakening. I'm here, I'm conquering, and they don't care the circumstances. As divine feminine, you need to care. For force versus remembrance as the path of feminine healing. Force says, break it open, force it in, take it by any means, push harder, faster, now. Remembrance whispers, breathe, listen, trust. I was never gone. I'm already whole. So patriarchal spiritual systems trained us to break ourselves in order to be reborn. Rituals of force, exhaustion, but force is rooted in trauma patterns. Remembrance, by contrast, is the path of the goddess. It is gentle, wise, and cyclical. It respects the nervous system. It honors the womb's rhythms, and it welcomes healing in layers. Remembrance means you do not need to forcibly open anything. Instead, you reclaim what was always yours. The crystal codes, the sigil, the wisdom seated within you since your first breath. So there's a womb brow circuit, right? The true co-creation loop. And I see that we do have some questions today. So I'm going to answer those questions as well before we get into the ritual, because I want to end with the ritual and close with our affirmation. So goddesses, your womb and your pineal gland are like twin flame portals within your body. They work together. They become a direct axis of manifestation and divine command. The womb is the magnetic void, the place of creation and cosmic gestation. The pineal is the electric light, the place of wisdom, intention, and frequency reception. When you align them, you form a circuit of quantum co-creation. So the womb receives that gold print or blueprint. The pineal projects it into the field. The pineal receives guidance, and the womb pulls that guidance into matter. This is why your third eye sovereignty matters. If your pineal is hijacked, the womb's creations can be redirected towards artificial timelines. But when your eye is clear, your womb's manifestations are sovereign and true to your soul. So I'm going to take this moment to talk really briefly about the Goddess Frequency Program, if this is resonating with you. We do womb work there. We start with cleansing the womb. We learn to manifest from our womb. You can manifest from your intellect, which is, I did it for years. A lot of people do it. And that is predominantly how it is taught. But that is a masculine way of doing it. Not that it's wrong, but it is more of a force. And it does try, with most applications, combine the masculine and the feminine, right? So you're projecting out, and then you're aligning and trying to receive. And that receiving and that receptivity is the divine feminine. But when you use your womb, your manifestations are supercharged, because that is where what it is that you're asking for is being created. So if this is speaking to you, we'll drop the links for you to explore that page. You can get in. Right now, it's open. It's not open. It's not an open-ended program. So we will be closing. I think we'll be open for the month of July, and then we'll close, and we may not open until the beginning of the new year. It just depends. So simple daily decalcification practices, right? Water, breath, and mineral allies. So every day you can actually nurture your penile Stargate with some easy feminine embodied practices. Spring water, structured water. True water holds crystalline codes that resonate with the penile. Pinch of sea salt or sugnite to elevate its frequency. The other thing you can do is write codes on your bottles, and you can crystal charge it. You can also play the sound frequencies, play the Goddess Code album through your Alexa or through your phone, and set your glass bottle of water on top of the phone so that it charges it. Conscious breath. So breath work, oxygenate. Can't say it. Oxygen. Listen, breath work brings oxygen into the body, to the brain, and it helps break up the calcification. So try gentle alternate nostril breathing or simple, long, slow exhales to calm the nervous system and invite clarity. So you want to say, if you inhale to 4, you want to exhale to 8. If you're inhaling to 6, exhale to 12. Mineral allies. So magnesium, boron, iodine, all of those will help the detoxification. Blue, green algae, chlorella, sea moss also assists in pulling heavy metals from the tissue. Sacred sunlight. So dawn, sun gazing, even for 30 seconds, trains your penile to track the codes rather than light frequencies, right? Sound frequencies. So again, the Goddess Code album, everything on that album is designed to unlock the pineal gland. It's like a tuning fork, breaking up the stagnation. You have crystal singing bowls, or you can even hum to yourself. These practices, consistent and gentle, will actually open up the penile Stargate. They detox, they reset without shock or harming, supporting the organic blooming of your sovereign inner sight. So one of the questions is, this is Goddess Life Ministries, which is a focus on women. And so she's asking, can the rituals and is this information beneficial for men? Yes. Right. So yes, right. The information in general is, of course, they have a pineal gland. My information, my research, and what I'm sharing with you is very specific to divine feminine. And so how I share to activate things and the rituals are going to be very much geared towards the divine feminine. Can men do it? Yes. And as a matter of fact, those who do and do it our way are way more likable to be around. It's not required. It is up to them if they feel comfortable in learning to create synergy between their divine masculine and their divine feminine. Most men have to come back, right, to their divine feminine. We're XX, they're XY. They're missing part of their divine feminine. When they reintegrate with their divine feminine, with the divine feminine, right, which is where they came from and what they came through, then they are able to heal the missing part of their chromosome. They end up being the most divine creatures around. So, yes. Was there another question? Okay, so there is a question. If the penile is so powerful, why didn't we learn about it in school or modern medicine? So, beautiful one. This is by design. The penile holds the codes of sovereignty and source connection. If a person's inner Stargate is active, they are ungovernable by fear. They're harder to manipulate and impossible to fully program. So systems of control, whether religious, governmental, or educational, often exclude this type of truth to maintain a hierarchy and disempowerment. And really, this is why we've got to reclaim these teachings through remembrance and sisterhood and spiritual practice outside the systems that profit from forgetting. We've got another question. Why is trauma-based spiritual awakening so common if it fragments us? Yes, beloved, this is a deep wounding in the collective. Patriarchal spiritual systems have long glorified trauma and suffering as the only path to growth, right? So you've heard those sayings that, take the path less traveled, take the path no one else is taking. You've got to forge your own way. Like everything has to be hard. Everything has to be a conquest. And it's a lie. It's a lie because when divine masculinity is wounded, right, then they are in the energy of, force, conquer, and things of that nature. So it's still a form of control. But the divine feminine shows us that true awakening can happen in gentleness, in safety, and in love. Many simply don't know another way yet, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing, so that beautiful women like you can learn another way. And those who don't know another way, they follow force because no one's taught them how to remember. That is why your ritual leadership is so needed. This is why you need to learn it so you can teach it to your children, your sisters, your cousins, your mothers, your grandmothers, whomever, your girlfriends, to show a softer, sovereign path of healing. And one more. Okay. How will I know if my pineal is truly reclaimed? So you'll know because your visions will feel steady and sovereign. No, you won't really have that feeling of being drained after intuitive experiences. You will start to trust your guidance, not question whether or not it's real. There'll be a sense of clarity. So if you ever had an experience and it's like, oh my God, did I really experience that? Or, am I tripping? Like, that's like, is that for real? Okay, that's you questioning. When it is fully open, you stop questioning. I saw what I saw and I said what I said and I know what the fuck I know. And that's it. So you move from one to the other, right? From the guessing and the unknowing to the certainty. There'll be a sense of clarity and a peace in your brow and a consistent ability to access your soul's truth without external validation. So initially, you're probably going to want some validation. If you have a good oracle, I would say go to her, right? Make the decision, read the situation, clock what you would do, and then reach out to your oracle and have her divinate on on what she sees. And when you start to see that they align, then you will only need to do that for major things or for updates, or if you have found yourself kind of in a haze or in a fog and you are needing to do some spiritual cleansing or you're doing spiritual cleansing, then you go back and check, right? So every doctor needs a doctor, but at the same time, because sometimes you're so in a situation, it's hard to see, that saying, can't see the forest because of the trees. So, but you don't need to have someone else divinate on absolutely everything you do anymore, because you know that you know that you know. And you can divinate on it and be like, and then if you're questioning that or you come across something that's unclear, then that's your sign to talk to your oracle. So the fragmented, forced, scattered images of the false third eye programming will dissolve. And instead, you'll experience a crystalline calm, right? It's a confidence that you're seeing through the lens of your divine self. And sometimes it will start where it's every once in a while, and then it becomes most of the time, right? And so over time, I'm not saying stop going to your card readers and all that kind of stuff. I'm saying over time, you build the confidence, you will feel it, you will know it. And so then it's just a spiritual checkup that you're getting with your oracle. So if there are no more questions, we divine ones are going to move on, and I'm going to walk you through the ritual, explain what is happening for those who will be listening so that you can go through it yourself. If you are watching and not prepared to follow along, you'll have the replay in Temple, and then you can do it there. So you want to dim the lights, anchor yourself on earth, or even seated on stones. You're going to place a bowl of spring water with a pinch of salt nearby. And you'll notice that water and salt have become some of our staples in ritual. And you're going to light, I'm going to light this velvet, violet, purple, indigo, whatever color you have, right? Candle to call in our ancient, I am tongue-tied today, protectress. So for sacred gestures, you're going to place your hand above your head and then gently bring your fingertips to rest between your brow. Feel your crown and third eye connect as a living eye, alive with remembrance. And you're going to speak these words in a voice of 1,000 ancestors, right? Pull it, draw from it, call on them, and repeat after me. I now deactivate all false overlays, astral parasites, introverted visions, ever placed upon my pineal gland through ritual, symbol, toxin, or interface. I reclaim my third eye as my sovereign throne of truth, clarity, and direct source vision. I close all unauthorized portals now. Close your eyes and envision a beam of indigo and golden light pouring into your crown, spiraling down to your third eye. Witness the crystalline light cracking any calcified shells, dissolving debris, freeing the Stargate from within. Repeat after me. We're going to declare our sovereignty. I see only what is mine to see. I receive only what is mine to receive. My eyes belong to me. My sight is sacred. My vision is sovereign. We're going to seal this spell by placing a drop of this salted spring water on your tongue. And this is how we are anchoring the ritual with these words. If you are in the earth, I would stomp your feet as well. I now seal and reset into the water of remembrance. Know this. You do not need their vision. You are the vision. You are the uncorrupted sight of the cosmic mother. So this spell is now complete. And so it is.
Soft as a whisper, loud as the moon, goddess codes in my bones, they are awakening soon. Shapes in the sky, numbers that glow, every sound is a signal, every breath lets me know that I'm not just dreaming, I'm decoding the stars, the phrases, the colors, the ancient memoirs. This body's a temple, this voice is a key. I open the in the earth, gold in my veins. The numbers repeat, they whisper my name. 888, well, a lump when divine design. I step through the code and collapse timeline. The frequencies rise in my cells rearrange. Old me is dying, my soul is unchanged. Colors and shapes, the sacred geometry wove me from stars to walk here as me. I remember me when I chant into the light. I become the sound, I reclaim the right. Spinning through time, I rise, I align. All my wildest desires are already mine. I am the portal, I am the flame, I am the goddess calling my name. Speak the code, feel the hum, one with the source, I've already won. Hold the vision, bend the air, shift the now, I'm already there. I remember me when I live as a love, when I move in truth, when I rise above. I don't chase, I attract, I just be. All my wildest dreams come looking for me. I am the portal, I am the flame, I am the
Hi. It's so beautiful to see you. Thank you so much for joining. So if there are questions about the ritual, about the teaching, I have already spoken about our membership and how that's changed. If you have questions about that, I'm going to stop our recording and we'll get into that, and we can chit chat and have a spot of tea and get acquainted with each other for a little while. So for those of you listening, thank you for listening. If you would like to be a part of the conversation and the chit chat that's after Temple, please join us live. Thank you for being part of Goddess Life Ministries Temple. If you have any questions, feel free to contact